All right, there we go. So after watching the video back last week, you couldn't hear the music at all. So I've just left it off today. That way you guys would be able to listen to your own music if you want. God forbid my dog bark again the way that she did last time. I think she's better entertained this time, so it shouldn't be an issue. We're gonna go ahead and get started here in today's workout with a nice little walk on the spot. Today's workout is going to be a little bit easier than last week in reviewing the tapes. I also lied straight to your faces and said it was going to be an easy workout, and then it wasn't. But this one is going to be, I swear. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and focus on our core. We're going to do the teeniest little bit of cardio, one exercise worth of cardio. But other than that, we're going to be focusing on the tummy. So thank you guys so much for the feedback from last week's workout. And thank you everybody who's helping me so far raise money. The whole point of these workouts is to start our weekend off right and to try to make as much money as possible to build wells in Ghana. And this is one of those things, while we're chatting, I'm going to get you to go ahead and mimic me here. We're going to go up to the ceiling and then to the floor. This is one of those things that, I like to think that when we send our money off to big companies and stuff, it's going to the right place. We're not always sure, but in this particular case, I know that they're going to build those wells because I am going to build those wells. So I'm going to go, with a team, of course, but I myself am going to be going to Africa to oversee the project, just again, as part of a team, not as any big, part of it or anything like that. But I'm going to be there, boots on the ground, and I want to document to all of you guys just what good your donations has been doing. So if you do want to get involved with that, or if you're enjoying these workouts, please, all I ask is that you go ahead and hit the link in the description, and every dollar counts. Make a little donation. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and do some body waves. We're going to open up our arms like so, and then close. Nice big reaches here. You'll notice that I'm kind of moving those hips backwards as I open my chest and then forwards as I close. The reason why is we want to get our spine involved as much as possible. 3, 2, and one more. Big stretch, big stretch, big stretch. Excellent. All right. We're not even really using our shoulders too much today, but that doesn't matter. Our shoulders always love a little bit of a warm up, especially if you have a desk job where you're spending a lot of time at the computer. Our shoulders tend to get internally rotated, and a good little stretch is going to help us combat that on the weekends. We're going to go ahead and do one more and then change directions. And again, the visual for this one is we want to try to pretend like we're scratching the bottoms of our ears with the tops of our shoulders. 3, 2, 1. All right. Another difference from this weekend's workout to last is going to be that we are going to do 5 exercises rather than 6, and for 20 seconds work with 30-second rest. So all total, each round is going to be just over 4 minutes, and we only have 3 rounds. So if you do the math, that means that we are going to be having our workout less than 15 minutes. You know I like to talk, so it could be a little bit more than 15 minutes, but that's not because my math is bad, that's because I like to chat. All right, you guys, I've already got everything set up on the timer here. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is classic high knees. So we're going to go ahead and set a target with our hands here, and then we're going to bring those knees up to it in 10 seconds here. All right, let's go ahead and pause this camera while we're at it.
3, 2.
Set that target, knees to hands, just like this. And we're not trying to compromise. We're not trying to bring the hands down like so. You want to make sure you're bringing the knees up to the hands. And we're going nice and slow for this first one. I want you to think about pulling those hips underneath and keeping in this position. So we're really squeezing those tummy muscles. Rest it up. All right, 20 seconds is going to go quick. So you're going to want to hop into these exercises right when they start and keep them going right till they end. The next one is a cross-body crunch. So with this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go out like so and then across our body. So out and up. You want to think about trying to stay in this side kind of flat plane like so, like you're flat, but make sure that we're still squeezing upward. In 3, 2, 1. So again, staying kind of in that flat plane like this. We want to think about working our core muscles. There we go. Particularly in this one side as we bring it up. Crunch. We're pulling our knees up through our elbows. One more. Squeeze and rest. All right, and yes, we have another side. Don't worry, it's for round 2. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is a walk or a run on the spot. So walk on the spot, just being like so, or a run on the spot if you wanna hustle your bustle. Let's take it a little slow for round 1. We do have 3 rounds. Even though it's just 15 minutes, we wanna give ourselves the gift of progression, meaning it gets harder every time. All right, so here we go, leisurely pace. So we've got our tummy here, pulled in nice and tight here. We've got our shoulders up. We're not just kind of like whatever. We want to be nice and proud when we're working out. If you are here right now, if you are doing these movements, then you should be proud of yourself because it's Saturday morning. It's just as easy to be laying in bed still. And hey, let's go ahead and rest. Even if you did lay in bed on Saturday morning, whatever, more power to you. If you're hitting the replay, make sure you let us know. No matter what time it is, it's awesome that you guys are taking this on. All right. We need to hit the mat next. So let's go ahead and bring this down to the ground. I'm going to pause the timer for a second. If you guys want to go ahead and grab yourself a mat or a towel or a blanket, or pop yourself onto the carpet. We're gonna go ahead and do something called a dead man row. I hate the title, but I kind of get it. After I've done too many of these, I'm definitely feeling like a dead man. All right, let's go ahead and lay on our back here. So the name of this game is going to be that we're going to go ahead and reach up, and for the beginners, we can go ahead and just go like so. We're bringing our knees into our chest, hands above our head, just like this. You don't need to be lifting your shoulders off the mat. You don't need to lift your hips off the mat. The next version of this would be to go out and then to come up into like a fetal position, but upright, if that makes sense. And then lower ourselves with control back out, and then up. And then we'll save this one for round 3. If you guys do want to make it more challenging, we can go right into the straight up V-sit. But of course, that one's going to be one that I do recommend having a little bit of a warm up for, not just for the abs, but those hamstrings get quite the stretch as well. So, all right, you guys, hitting those dead man rows in 3, 2, 1. Go. Here we go. So we're gonna go out, and I'm gonna choose the middle man here. So this one is going to be the one that I feel is the most appropriate for my level right now for round 1. But again, you don't need to compare yourself to anybody. If you want to go a little bit slower for round 1, if it's your first time working out in a little while, go ahead and stay down to the mat. Okay, let's take it easy. 20 seconds ain't bad. All right, last thing we're gonna do is a Russian twist. So, Russian twist, I'm sure a lot of us have seen these before. You're gonna keep your heels in for round 1. We wanna lean back, but not too crunched forward. We wanna kind of keep our chest up a little bit, and then we're going to twist, taking both of our hands and tapping the mat on both sides with both hands. Nice little twist for our core and our spine. And this is the last exercise of round 1. Here we go, you guys. Let's twist. Squeezing our core, keeping our chest up. Feet are on the ground, but we're light on our toes. Light on our toes. Oh my God, I'm getting warm already. Here we go. 5 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Hey. All right, that's round 1. Nicely done. I think it's fun how much you can get out of even the shortest workouts. And sometimes those are the most effective, because I know if my day's busy and the idea of doing an hour workout is like seeming daunting, it is so relieving knowing that we can just pop down for a little 15-minute sesh and still get so much out of it, especially when we're isolating the way that we are today with our core. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves some water. That was round 1 already. Not even 10 minutes after the starting, whoop, we're on to good stuff. All right, you guys. So we're gonna go ahead, we'll bring this mat back up. Here we go. Next couple exercises, as you know, we're going to be up on our feet. Okay. How's everybody doing today, by the way? Whether you're on the live or on the replay, let me know how your day's going so far. It is so pretty outside right now. So sunny, very cold. I don't know what degree, but certainly below freezing. Any of my non-BC friends, you guys got good weather as well? All right, you guys. We got 2 more rounds. Here we go. Now you know what you're up against. You know what the workouts are, you know what the variations are, and you know that the time is not that long. 20 seconds is like, can't get anywhere in 20 seconds except doing what we're doing here. So don't worry about, thinking about laundry. Don't worry about thinking about taxes. Although if you're thinking about taxes, you are so late. Right now, all you have to think about is your workouts. That's all you can really do in these 20 seconds. Anyway, all right, you guys, we're gonna go ahead into our second set, starting with those high knees. And this time I want you to take every exercise a little harder than you did the first time. Like I said, giving ourselves the gift of progression, making it a little harder every single time we do it. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that target and let's hop to it. In this one, making sure we're keeping our core nice and tight, our chest up, and staying light on your toes like so. If you've got downstairs neighbors, just be nice and quick. You don't have to necessarily be hopping with it. Okay, here we go. Almost there, you guys. 5, 3, 2. I almost made you guys do extra, but Jeffrey's got your back, don't worry. All right, indoor crossbody crunch. So, whatever side you most naturally do, you probably did that for the first one, so let's go to the other side. For me, it's this one, so we're gonna go ahead and switch to the unnatural side. And again, we're gonna go ahead, point that toe out to the side, reach your body, so you're kind of going, like if you were an X, this would be from one corner to the opposite, and then go across, bring the corners together. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Big stretch, big crunch. All right, you guys, keep it up. You're almost there. 10 seconds. Squeeze. And we're not just going through the motions, we're squeezing. Try to bring that rib to the hip. Rest. Okay. Bringing us to our walk or run on the spot. I want you guys to go a little harder this time. If you walked, I took it pretty chill last time, so I gotta take it much less chill this time. All right. Good Lord, here we go, 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Staying up on those toes, keeping our chest to the sky, tummy nice and tight, hips underneath ourselves. All right, 10 more seconds. And 5, sprint, a little faster, here we go. 2, 1, rest. All right, you guys, take it easy. Dead man rows on the mat next. Let's go ahead and hit the deck. Here we go. How are we feeling so far? If you're swinging by, even if you only catch a couple seconds, I would appreciate it so much if you guys could give this a like, leave a comment, even just share the workout. The more people we can get enjoying themselves on a Saturday morning, the better. And also, the more people we can get helping us with this mission as well. We just want to spread the word. So if you're not able to donate, please consider sharing the workout. Let's do this thing together. Remember, you guys, if this one's a little bit tough, we can just stay low like this. Or if you need that intensity, you can bring it into the V-sit. Okay, rest it up. I got chatting on that one. All right, Russian twist. So for this one, you can leave your toes on the ground, or you can pick those feet off of the ground, giving yourself a little bit more to control, a little bit more to work. With this one, remember keeping our chest up relatively, and then also leaned back. So up but back, if that makes sense. All right, my apologies for Ollie's contribution. Here we go. Not sacrificing our twist though. We're still making sure we're tapping both hands on both sides. Trying to pause it so they can't hear the dog, but I think that might be in vain. All right, you guys, beautiful. That's round 2. Just like that, let's go ahead and grab ourselves a little bit of water. It feels too fast. I might have to do these at 30 seconds next time. All right. Holy smokes. We're gonna go ahead and bring this up again. Oh, one more time. I can't believe it. Okay, so there's the 15-minute mark. I did warn you guys I'd probably go over for my love of chit chat. There we go. There's the 15-minute mark. We just have one more to go, one more round, you guys. I hope you're enjoying it so far. And it's going to be the perfect amount of burn. If you're really paying attention to pulling your abs in, when I say bringing your rib to your hip, I want you to think about bringing this part, literally your rib, to your hip bone. I know there's a lot of argument about where your hip actually is, but to me, it's the bone. And we want to bring those together like so. And you can see how it makes my midsection really little here, like dumpy. That's what you want. I want you to think little in the middle, because what that's going to do is it's going to help us condense into our core, and by doing that automatically, it's actually our abs that are squeezing to make that shape happen. So if we go into every workout already doing that, it's going to be bonus abbies, baby. All right, you guys, so round 3, we've had a second to rest. Everybody who wasn't talking had some water. And then we're gonna go ahead and get into this bad boy, but I want you to push it. It is 4 minutes. You can only brush your teeth twice in 4 minutes. That is such a small amount of time. So let's go ahead and give it everything we got, because at the end of the day, even if you were to suffer the most, which you won't, but if you did, you could handle 4 minutes of suffering. I know you. You're strong. You've done more intense things than this. All right, here we go. We got 10 seconds. We're gonna do some high knees. All right, set that target. Let's do this, you guys. Hit it. Pound it, pound it. Here we go. While we're doing this third set, I want you to visualize what you're working for. So I'm here to try to raise as much money as I can to build some wealth. And that is so exciting. I'm also here because I want to look good. I want to feel good. To me, that means being able to run upstairs and not get winded at the top, or to be kind of like in the middle of the pack when I'm hiking. I don't have to be leading the damn thing. But, you know, what does being fit mean to you? Why are you here today? Why do you follow my page? I would love to know. All right, you guys, bringing it into our crossbody crunches. We're gonna switch halfway through this one. So we're gonna go quick. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Back to original side. Nice and quick, here we go. Almost there, give me 3, 2, 1. Other side, here we go, change it up. Point that toe, bring it across, squeeze, squeeze. And rest. All right, into our walk / run on the spot. Fuck the walk, we're gonna run. It's time. Let's go ahead and run on the spot, you guys. We got about 15 seconds, thank God. When we do this one, I know you're feeling winded. I hope you're feeling winded. We're gonna keep the chest up. I want you to pump those arms. We're gonna get blood flow in, or oxygen in, one way or another. All right, you guys, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Hustle, hustle. Think about what we're working for here, you guys. Push it. All right. All right. Oh, I want you to take a hurdle, little jump. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Another hurdle coming up. And hurdle. And rest. All right. All right. Down to the mat, dead man's row. I'm just manually moving the camera today. I can't be bothered with Jeff. All right. Make sure that you try to stay upright as long as possible. Classic life tip. But genuinely, to help with the breathing, let's go ahead and lean back into our dead man row. But in between sets, you want to try to get yourself in the most comfortable breathing position for your rest to get the most amount of oxygen in as possible. Oh my God, here we go, you guys. All right, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna do one more, and I want you to hold it for 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, fantastic. The next one we're gonna do is going to be our Russian twist. So this will be the last exercise, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really, really appreciate you guys being here. And again, I'm so sorry for that dog barking. I took so many precautions and it did not work. All right, 3, 2, 1, Here we go, Russian twist, you guys. Again, tapping both hands, both sides. Each time, no compromise. So you'll notice my feet are pretty still. At the beginning, they're kind of wonky. I was not paying enough attention. We want to be intentional with our movements here. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Woo! And that is going to be my workout for the day. So I know that was just over 15 minutes. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, and that in today's culture, there's a lot of that hustle standard that, like, you know, get busy or die trying. And I just think that maybe that's not the way to do it. In all of my time with fitness, I've always found that doing these
3, 2, 1, done.
doing these little workouts this way, things that I like, I can go really hard with them, but I don't have to worry about keeping enough gas in the tank to fuel me for hours and hours, is what's been the most effective. I find the longer I go, sometimes I overdo it almost every time. And so to be able to do these little things is the perfect way to incorporate fitness into a busy weekend, or just make sure that I'm doing the right amount and not too little or too much. Anyhow, you guys, let's go ahead and get into our stretching. Because even though it wasn't a super, traditionally intense workout, we still got some things moving. And it's always good to kind of run with that, you know? Running with it while it's all warmed up, give things a bit of a stretch. Me and Harper are following. Oh, hi, Harper. Girl, your photos look so pretty. Oh my goodness, congratulations. I'm glad you and your mama are here. Thanks for tuning in, Liz. I appreciate that. All right, you guys, first things first, we're just gonna go into a nice little bit of a lunge here. So for this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and push our hips down. We wanna think about stretching underneath our leg here and in front of our leg on the other side. So chest to the sky, booty down. And you'll notice that at the beginning of the workout, we didn't hold our stretches, but now we are. So what we're doing here is called a static stretch, meaning that we're not moving. And that is the kind of stretching you only wanna do once you're done the intense activity. Sometimes you can overstretch things when you do static, and then it can put you at risk of injury. Like if you were playing like soccer or something, I wouldn't recommend doing this until after you were done the game. And then go ahead and pull back. Actually, go ahead and stay here for a sec, but I do want to just say, if you did want to do that stretch before a soccer game, for instance, you would just keep it moving. So dynamic, like so. And by keeping it moving, you would get yourself primed for activity. And these two exercises go so nicely together because they work just all kinds, stretch all kinds of areas of your leg. And then we're gonna go ahead and pull our toe up to ourselves, really feeling that stretch in behind our knee here, under that calf muscle. And let's go to the other side. Woo! Here we go. And then take a nice deep breath and go ahead and pull back. Oh! And you'll find that a lot of times the second side you stretch is weaker than the first side. That's just kind of the way she goes. We all have a strong side. I'm left-handed, thus I have a left-sided body. It's always gonna be this right side that holds me up a little bit. So if you're the same way, it's definitely something to work on in terms of when you're doing your training, just to help you prevent injury. But it's also very natural and very normal. I think everybody's a little off kilter that way. All right, excellent, excellent. We did abs though, so we wanna make sure we're not sleeping on the ab stretches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and drop ourselves down to the mat like so. We wanna put our hands beside our chest. We're gonna keep our feet pressed together. So I want those ankle bones touching. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna press our chest up to the sky, trying to keep our hips down on the ground. So I kind of let my hips come up there. I want to stop that. So I'm a little bit more sore than expected. Not as flexible as I'd like, but that's okay. Just like I'd want you guys to be with yourselves, I'm going to be patient with myself. Take a nice deep breath in. And then we're going to exhale and sink a little deeper into it. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go ahead and soften our elbows, soften your hips, pull all the way back into child's pose. So with this one, we're gonna have our knees together, relatively, and then hands up straight above us like so. We wanna press down through our palms. You feel that stretch through the lats, the muscles in your back under your armpits, and then also behind your shoulders as well. All right. Let's go ahead and stretch out our hips a little bit. So same pose, but now we're gonna point our knees to the outside edges and sink down between our hips. And this is just gonna help us kind of flatten down a little bit, get a little bit more, stretching the glutes. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and bring those knees together. We're gonna tuck our toes, press our heels down into the mat for a little downward dog action. Oops, I felt that a little bit more than anticipated. I want you guys to go ahead and press your chest down towards your knees here. We're not just going through the motions. I want you to actively feel every one of these stretches. And then I know your arms might be feeling a little tired, so let's go ahead and walk our hands in towards our feet and just go into a forward fold. So, no bent knees. If you're having too easy of a time touching your toes, check them knees. You want to make sure those knees are totally straight, just like so. And then let's go ahead and roll on up to the top. And my favorite move of all time, I call it the good morning stretch. I want you guys to consider or pretend like you just slept on like that friend from high school who just had like a really shitty futon. Pretend you just woke up on that futon and every part of your body's sore in a way that you've never experienced before. And you just kind of need to like, prove to yourself that you can still move. So that's what we're gonna do, is we're just gonna stretch as though we just had the worst sleep on the worst futon of our life and everything hurts. Be intuitive with it. You don't gotta do anything that makes sense. Just throw some shapes, take up space. And with that, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this morning's workout. I hope you had fun. I am gonna try to organize something in person. I'd love to do it at the park at Clayton Lake today. However, if any of my fellow Prince Georgians have any recommendations, or Nova Spot or Nova Business who wants to get involved with me and help me to be able to raise this money for this project. This is obviously a massive project. These wells are not cheap, so I'm gonna need lots of help. And I'm thinking that maybe, we've had a couple local businesses already reach out, and I really love the idea of kind of checking out that avenue. So anyway, if you guys know of anybody who might want to be involved, if you think your boss is gold star kind of person that would want to do some good in the world, I would love it if you guys would throw me their contact information, and I've got a little sponsorship proposal for this as well. And again, it's not for me as an athlete, but I will be for sure going over there to help this thing go down. So anyway, all the proceeds are going towards the Ghana build. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this morning. I hope that you enjoyed. I would love to hear your feedback, your suggestions for the next workout. We are going to be doing it again Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you like this workout, you'll either be able to find it on my page, on the Little Fit Company page, or on my YouTube at Little Fit Kendall. So anyways, you guys, have an amazing day. We will see you next time. And hydrate. Take care of your damn selves.